The Russian president has unleashed a massive strike, even as the US President Donald Trump seems to look away. That's our big focus tonight. In fact, hours after a phone call with Donald Trump, Russia launched over 500 drones and missiles, pounding the capital of Ukraine in an all-night assault. Was this Moscow's warning to Ukraine's backers, or simply the next chapter in a war that is now spiraling out of control? Here's what happened. Let's break it down for you. Russia launched hundreds of drones and missiles targeting Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities. Ukraine's Air Force saying that the attacks began early Friday and lasted more than 8 hours. Dramatic video footage showing drones exploding across Kyiv's residential area. In total, 539 drones and 11 missiles were fired in waves aimed at Ukraine. And in a telegram post, Ukraine's Air Force said that the main target of the strikes was the capital. The all-night barrage left at least 23 people injured in Kyiv. 14 were hospitalized. Drone debris and explosions set buildings, cars, even a medical facility ablaze. In fact, according to across six of the city's 10 districts, Ukraine says this was the largest number of drones and missiles used in a single attack since the war started. Russian strikes damaged railway infrastructure, sparking massive fires, forcing residents to spend the night in shelters. The mayor of Kyiv, in fact, described widespread damage on both sides of the Dnipro River. Russia's defense ministry claiming it targeted Ukrainian military industrial facilities, drone assembly workshops, HIMARS rocket launcher stations. The attacks, by the way, were the latest in a series of Russian airstrikes on Kyiv that have only intensified in recent weeks. We've been telling you about this. They have included some of the deadliest assaults of this war on the city of 3 million people. The reaction from Ukraine's backers was swift. Poland's foreign minister telling Donald Trump that Putin was mocking your peace efforts, quote unquote, urging him to restore anti-aircraft ammunition supplies to Ukraine. The massive Russian attack even damaged the Polish consulate in Kyiv. Meanwhile, Germany confirmed active talks to buy US Patriot missiles for Ukraine to boost its air defense. And German and Dutch intelligence services also accused Russia of increasing the use of chemical weapons in Ukraine, calling it a slippery slope, threatening Europe and the world. Evidently, more than 3 years after the start of the war, the Russia-Ukraine war continuing to rage on with efforts for truce at a standstill. President Trump, in fact, after speaking to Vladimir Putin on Thursday, said that there was no progress at all towards ending the war. No progress. On Friday, the president of Ukraine said he spoke with Donald Trump about the need to strengthen Ukraine's air defense amid the escalating Russian attacks. And he said that they discussed the possibilities of air defense and agreed on increasing the protection in the sky. On Friday, he told reporters he is disappointed in Putin and does not believe the Russian leader will actually stop the war. He plans to speak with the president of Ukraine.
To President Zelensky tomorrow, early in the morning, and I'm very disappointed with the conversation I had today with President Putin, because I don't think he's there. And I'm very disappointed. Well, it's not, I'm just saying, I don't think he's looking to stop, and that's too bad.
And the thing is, as for Russia, Moscow described the attack as retaliation for what it called terrorist raids by Kyiv into Russian territory. The Russian Defense Ministry has said that its strikes involved long-range precision weapons, hypersonic Kinzhal missiles, as well as drones, and it claims that all targets were hit, including Ukraine's drone assembly facilities, as well as military airfield. Russia insists its strikes do not target civilians, and just a day earlier, Russia claimed it had seized the village of Milove on Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv border. Milove lies on a section of the border where Russian forces had not entered since the war started. So now Russia is basically entering previously uncharted territory, and that's significant. Ukrainian forces have said that they were holding back Russian advances in the area, but a video released by the Russian Defense Ministry showed two men raising a Russian flag above a building. Moscow has been grinding forward on the front line for over a year now, pressing its advantage against overstretched and outmanned Ukrainian forces. And as for the talks to actually end the war, the Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has said Russia would continue its war on Ukraine as it was unable to achieve its goals through diplomatic means. Separately, while hosting the Saudi foreign minister, the Russian foreign minister told reporters that a settlement is impossible without eliminating the root causes of the war.
A political and diplomatic settlement is impossible without eliminating the root causes of the conflict, as President Putin once again said during yesterday's telephone conversation with President Trump.
And with the hostilities showing no signs of subsiding anytime soon, the question still is, are all hopes for peace lost?